friends, and welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm going to be doing my wrap up for the month of March, so I'll be discussing anything that I read. I also have a few things to talk about that I have watched this month. So, yeah, I feel like this pile, well, it doesn't appear very big, but I did read a good chunk of a series, but there were just like too many to bring up here. But yeah, I guess before we get into it, this is my drink of the video. I tried something new, something that I've been wanting to try for a really long time, and I just kind of went for it this morning. This is, I don't even know what to call it, so I put like, I would say about like 2/4 of like 3 instant coffee packets, and then I put 1/4 of chai tea, like a chai latte mix, like the Taza one, and then like another 1/4 cup of milk. And I don't know. I was so curious on how it would taste, and I think I found my new favorite at home drink. I tasted it, and the best way I can describe it is it tastes kind of like gingerbread, I guess you could say. It's hard to describe, but it might not sound like something you would want to mix, but it is delicious. So if you ever want to try a different drink, I recommend that. It's so good. So let's go ahead and get into everything that I read first. So the first thing I read was actually a reread for me. This is Haru's Curse by Asuka Konishi. This is a one-shot. This was my second reread of this, actually. I just kind of like visiting this one again, like on evenings when I feel like reading manga, but I don't feel like picking up a series to read, or if I don't have anything ongoing to read. I like to pick up this one shot. I go through this pretty quickly. The art in this is really nice. I really like her art style. Yeah, here is the synopsis on this. Kind of a little bit controversial, I guess you could say. They're not the most ideal, they don't have the most ideal love story, but I don't know. I think it's still a pretty interesting story, and I like picking it up every once in a while. And the next one is the only manhwa that I read this month. This is Solo Leveling Volume 6. This was a new release this month. This one was pretty good. The series just continues to be so good. So I'm not sure when Volume 7 comes out. I'll have to look that up. I always look at Right Stuff. That's kind of my reference point to find out like release dates. But yeah, this one was really good. I love the full color. It's so immersive, and I cannot wait for the anime that's coming out for this. Yeah, super stoked about that. I feel like I'm going through these pretty quickly. The next one is kind of the series that took a big chunk out of my month. This is Chainsaw Man. I just brought volumes 1 and 11 here. I read the entire, volumes 1 through 11. That is all that's currently out at the time that I'm filming this. I do know that volumes 12 and 13 are out for pre-order already. But yeah, this, I think I can say now that this is a new favorite series. Wow, this is just, it's very violent, and it's very action-packed. It's bloody, and it's just an insane series. Like, oh man, let me see if I show you some of the art in volume 1 so that I don't like spoil anything too much for you. Let me show you a good panel here. I feel like that's not too much of a spoiler. But this series is pretty popular at the moment. Yeah, I picked up the manga because I watched the first few episodes of the anime, and I really enjoyed it. And so I decided I would just pick up the manga, and read it before I finish watching the anime. So I think I'm going to go back and finish the anime because I would love to see everything that happened in action. So yeah, I'm so excited for the next part to come out. I mean, I grew so attached to these characters pretty quickly, and yeah, great series. I will say, however, it is rated older teen. I guess that's an appropriate rating. But honestly, for me, this is something that I would personally rate mature. Yeah, I don't want to say too much because I feel like some things might be spoilers. But yeah, I just kind of something to be aware, just for one, with the amount of like blood and gore and violence. I think that in and of itself is worthy of being rated mature. So yeah, these last two here are we're leaving off on a lighter note. So both of these are going to be shoujo romances. These are also both new releases. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get into this first one. This is volume 2 of Tsubakicho Lonely Planet by Mika Yamamori. This one was pretty cute. I will say, did I enjoy volume 1 better? I think so, but I still am going to be continuing with this. It's still pretty cute. However, I am just kind of starting to have a problem with the pacing, just with the development of feelings in particular. This is only the second volume. I mean, I'm not sure how long this series is, but I believe it's pretty relatively short. It's like between like 10 and like 15 volumes, I believe. So I mean, I still think it's a bit fast paced with the romance. I mean, it's not gotten like super in depth or anything, but yeah, personally I enjoy a little bit more of a slow burn. So it didn't feel ridiculously fast, but yeah, just kind of something that I'm a little bit wary on moving forward. But that said, I will be continuing with this. I really do enjoy it, and I love the art style, and the characters are super lovable. This volume, like, sold me on him. Like, I see so many memes on people saying, like, that's my boyfriend, and it's like, I get it now. Like, I totally understand. So yeah, great characters in this one. Pretty cute shoujo. Yeah, just have a little bit of an issue with the pacing, but hopefully that kind of resolves itself, I hope. But this next one is Mint Chocolate Volume 7. This one, I would say, was my least favorite of the series so far. It was still cute, but I just feel like it wasn't super eventful. Honestly, it kind of more surrounded this side character right here, which, don't get me wrong, I love him. He's an absolute gem. But it just, for one, it revealed some pretty shocking things about him. But yeah, this one just kind of felt like a filler episode, kind of. That's how I can explain this one. But that said, I'm still super excited to move forward with this one. This is a favorite series of mine. Yeah, I just kind of hope it kind of picks up, and I anticipate it doing so. So that's all for the manga and manhwa that I read. Okay, it has been a couple hours now. I had to pause on filming, and then I got caught up with something. So my drink is pretty much done, and the ice is melted into it. But yeah, let's just continue with this. So I only have one novel that I read this month. I did start another one, but it is not anywhere near finished. I have kind of been slacking off with my reading a bit. But this one is The Surrogate. As you can see, there are no tabs in this, so this overall just wasn't a super astounding story. You know, like, I just put tabs in when there are like big moments in a book that I want to like go back to, you know, at a later point. and just things that I like want to remember. But this was just pretty much an okay book. That's how I can describe it. It wasn't bad. Like, there wasn't anything that I disliked about it. Well, that's a lie, actually. I don't really like any of the characters in this, but not like inherently dislike. Like, they were just, I didn't really care about any of the characters. I just didn't really get attached to any of them. So yeah, best way I could describe this is, in my opinion, it was just okay. Nothing that I have the desire to reread or anything. So yeah, this one I'm probably going to put in a separate pile, because in my area I found this little shop that does like monthly book swap events. So I'm thinking to bring this one with me to one of those events. So yeah, again, this wasn't a bad book, just it was alright, nothing that I would want to revisit. But yeah, I've heard a lot about it, and so I figured I would give it a shot, and I got it secondhand for a pretty good price. So yeah, that is all that I read. So now let's move on to what I watched this month. So the first movie we watched, I watched all of these movies with my mom. We kind of got into watching movies this month. So the first one, I believe, was Where the Crawdads Sing. That was a great movie. I really, really enjoyed it, and I kind of went into it pretty blind. Like, when we were starting the movie, I realized that it was like a murder mystery, and I was like, if I had known that that's what this was about, I would have watched this movie so much sooner, because I'm sure it's a known fact by now that that is like a favorite genre of mine. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed it, and I did go ahead and pick up the book for it. So I'm excited to see the differences between the two. Most times the book is better than the movie, so I'm interested to see what I think about that. I haven't really like gone and done any sort of research on like what people think is better, but I'm going to assume that people like the book better than the movie. So yeah, that one was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. And next was The Fault in Our Stars. We have been meaning to watch that movie for like a really long time. That one also has a book. I enjoyed it. It was a good movie, but honestly, I don't think it's anything that I'd rewatch. It's kind of like The Surrogate. It's like, it wasn't bad or anything. It was just okay. Although with The Fault in Our Stars, I like the characters a lot more than in this book. But it's just not kind of something that I would want to rewatch like that. But it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. It was a pretty cute love story. So yeah, that one was great. And the last movie we watched, well, it's kind of a series of movies actually, was the Hunger Games movies. Recently here in the US, they put up the Hunger Games movies, and I knew that I had to rewatch them because they were some of my favorite movies in high school. And still to this day, I love them so much. I just love the story and the characters, and I really want to read them, the books. I never actually read the books. I wasn't much of a reader ever, really, until recently. So yeah, I really want to get into the books and just see, like, I know all those movies like by heart basically, so I want to like compare them to like what they originally came from. So yeah, I hope to pick those up sometime in like a box set. I do want those hardcover. I much prefer hardcover over soft cover books. I just like the reading experience a bit better. So yeah, I'll probably wait until I can get those in some sort of like box set, just because it'll be cheaper that way too. But yeah, that is it for everything that I watched and read this month. Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of great stuff. I enjoyed, getting to experience all these different kind of series. I feel like, as far as what I read, I feel like I read a good mix of genres. So yeah, I feel like next month will probably be more reading heavy just because I got a lot that I need to read. So I really need to get cracking on my TBR again. It's kind of starting to pile up a bit. So yeah, I'm gonna be working on that this next coming month. So yeah, I hope you guys look forward to that. Yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you for spending some of your time with me, and I hope you guys are all doing amazing. Alrighty, I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.